Okay. So we can see that the stock model has calculated. So I'm going to turn off by clicking this light bulb to hide the toolpath. And the stock model has given us a record of what that first toolpath has done. So this is what our physical model should look like after running that first toolpath. This is also what going to help us calculate our subsequent toolpaths. Okay. I'm going to turn our toolpath back on, but I'm going to turn our stock model off. Now I'm going to save our project. In PowerMill there's no autosave, so you have to remember to save your work frequently. So now I want to clean up this other side. So I'm going to hit this on my toolpath settings window. I'm going to click the cloner button to make a copy of that toolpath. I'm going to change its name to RGH2. And work plane, for now, I'm going to click none. That will make there be no work plane because I want to create a new one. So I'm going to come to my Explorer, right click on work plane, create and orient work plane using block. And so I want to come in the center of the block from the other side. But like before, the z-axis is pointing up. I need it to point at a 60-degree angle. So on work plane 2, I'm going to right click, work plane editor. I'm going to twist it on the x-axis, and this time it's going to be negative 60 degrees. I'm going to click accept, and the green check mark. So now on my RGH2 work plane, now I will choose work plane 2. We can see that their Z will come in at the corresponding angle. That's how it came in from the other side. I'm going to use this. The block stays the same, the tool stays the same, still no limit. This is where we will actually change something. Our settings for our tolerance, our thickness, our step over, our step down stay the same, and constant step down is always on. But we're going to click rest machining. Now this is where we're going to factor in the stock model we created. So now we have a setting called rest. Rest machining. We're going to use the stock model. We're going to use the stock model 1 and the stock model state RGH1. The rest of our settings up here are our offset, our step cutting. We didn't do anything with these other ones. Our automatic verification, these will stay the same. We will have to recalculate our rapid moves because we have a new work plane. So now you can see the tool aligned with our new work plane. Our leads and links will stay the same. Start point and end point. And our feeds and speeds are the same. So now I'm going to calculate this toolpath. Okay, so I'm going to click OK and OK. So I'm going to hide our first toolpath. So we're going to have to limit this toolpath again. We're going to have issues reaching this far. So we're going to right click on RGH2, edit, limit. We have to deactivate our work plane, so we're editing it to the world. Click the right side. We're going to edit it on plane Y. I'm going to click it to my point. But this time, outer, because we want the other side. Click apply. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of that _1. And now we're going to go 180 degrees from here. So if that's 330, I think it'll be 150 degrees. I'm going to click to the start. Our angle been changed, so that looks good. So now I'm going to record the 3 triangles, this simulation. Okay, so this second toolpath generation is simulated. Let's save it. Okay. We can see our progress at the bottom. Now we're going to update our stock model by right-clicking on our stock model, apply, active toolpath last, then right-click, calculate.
Calculating.
Yeah.
Do you think we can finish today?
No, I don't.
No.
We won't get the finishing done. That calculated.
Okay.
But we'll get the roughing done. So if we hide that, we can see that we finished our roughing on this piece. So we have two toolpaths. So now we want to look at, I'm going to right click on RGH1, go to properties, see about 30,000 cutting points. RGH2, I'm going to do the same thing, right click, go to properties, about the same length. So we're limited to about 90,000 points per program. So we have to start our programs with a capital A and end them with an M. So we know which one to choose when we load it onto our controller. So in our robot program, I'm going to name it. I'm going to right click, add a toolpath, RGH1. Okay. So now we're gonna right click, add a toolpath, add RGH2. Okay, so that's loaded. So we're going to use down here on the left, on the bottom, a replay and analysis. And we're just gonna click to this start, and then we're gonna click play. We've already watched the toolpath, so I'm gonna click to the end point of the first one. I'm gonna click play. We need to add a transition. If we look from the top, and we go back, we're going to clip our corner here when it spins around. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to right click, add a transition with the virtual teach pendant. So I'm going to snap to the end of this first toolpath. I'm going to click the sheet of paper to start a new transition. I'm going to add that point. Then on Z, I'm going to click Z plus 20 times. I'm going to add that point. I'm going to come back down here, and I'm going to snap to the start of the next one. But I'm going to click on the Z plus 20 times and add that point. Now I'm going to click save. We're going to call it TR1. Also not with the number, but spelling it out. Going to hide that window. Going to come back over to my program, right click, add a transition, TR1. It's going to load, and then I'm going to have to move it into the proper order, and then we're going to check how it looks. Okay. So now I'm going to drag it to the proper order. Now it has to update. Okay, so that has loaded. So now we're going to come back down to our replay and analysis. We're going to hit play. It's the start point fine. We're going to snap, and we're going to see how this transition works. Perfect. Now I know it's good. I'm going to write my robot program. Okay, so that program just finished writing. So I'm going to save the program, save the project. Okay. So let's check our stock. Our stock is updated. All right, perfect. So the next thing we need to do after we rough this piece is we need to do finishing. So we use a smaller tool and a different type of toolpath. So we're going to right click on toolpaths, create toolpath. I'm going to do raster finishing. We can use the work planes we already created. We can use work plane 1. Block is the same. Tool, this time I'm going to use 1/2 inch ball 2. This is our 1/2 inch diameter tool, but it has a long extension on it. I'm going to do angle 0. Start corner lower. I'm going to make this upper left. Style 2-way. Tolerance 0.1. Thickness 0. Step over 2 millimeters. Automatic verification is the same. Tool axis is the same. Rapid moves. We're going to have to calculate again. You'll see our tool snapped to line up with our work plane. Leads and links are the same. Start point's the same. Calculate. I'm going to hide my stock model. I'm going to have to edit this toolpath. So I'm going to right click. You can see we have an issue because we have a red exclamation point. And that's one of the reasons we have to limit this toolpath. Right click on it, edit, limit. We have to right click and deactivate this work plane so we're working with the world and not our chosen work plane. We're going to limit it on plane Y. Going to choose the center. Going to save inner. Delete the original. Apply. I'm also going to deactivate this one more time. But use plane Z. Save outer, click apply. Yeah, I didn't need to spend all the time cleaning up this bottom, that'll just get cut off. So, that looks good. I'm going to rename this Fin 1. I'm going to save my project. I'm gonna make this 330. I'm gonna click home first. Make my angle 330 degrees. Click to the start point. I have to adjust my angle a little. Click to the start, click record.